Hello, everyone. This is Jewel. How are you today? Just wanted to give you a brief message about the power of your mind, the thoughts that you're thinking. Earlier today, I almost went on this slippery slope of feeling kind of bad about a certain situation and a certain person. And I said, catch that, fight that feeling. And then I realized I don't have to fight the feeling. I've got to replace it. I've got to replace those thoughts because we are creatures of habit and we have default thinking that we just automatically fall back into that track of either depression or optimism, or we fall back into that track of fear, anxiety. We fall back into that loop of anger, or we fall back into that loop of desperation, or we fall back into that loop of excitement. Our minds are interesting, and we have to know how to really monitor what we're thinking, because what we think begins to affect how we feel, and how we feel determines how we behave throughout the day. Have you ever had one of those moments when you feel like you're just about in a funk and you're like, oh my God, here it comes. You just feel that cloud coming over you. Well, it's not that you have to fight the feeling. You want to replace the feeling with a feeling of hope, optimism, and faith, with a feeling of I will not be defeated. I will not be discouraged. You have the power to do that. It is a choice to rejoice, even when things aren't going the way you think they should. It is actually a choice to rejoice. It is an actual choice to decide which direction you're going to go in. Have you ever seen a train going forward and backwards at the same time? Well, your train, yes, your train of thought cannot go in two different directions. Your train of thought cannot go in two different directions. You're either going uphill or you're going downhill. You're either going north or you're going south. You're either thinking thoughts of hope and faith and anticipation and joy and gratitude, or you're going in the direction of fear, doubt, negativity, hopelessness, desperation, and lack. You got to decide that you're going to get on the train of abundance. Yeah, that's the train I decide to get on. And every once in a while, when I feel my train of thought about to derail, I have to get back in and be the engineer of my thoughts and say, no, 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 no. We're moving in the direction of positivity. We're going to move in the direction of faith, move in the direction of hope, move in the direction of action, move in the direction of self-worth. I cannot have feelings of self-worth and doom at the same time. You cannot have faith and failure at the same time. You have to make it up in your mind the direction that you're going to go. Now, your subconscious mind is where all of your thoughts from all the years you've been living, all the programming, all the hurt, all the scenarios in your life have been stored away in the subconscious of your mind. And there's a guard there to make sure that whatever goes in that subconscious mind, it's like a bank, that whatever goes in there, it's got to be similar. And so when you try to introduce a new thought, and the subconscious mind says, no, 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 no. We've already got a lot of doom and gloom in here. We've got fear. We've got lack. We've got anxiety in here. We've got doubt in here. How dare you bring in a new thought? That is the job of the subconscious mind. It's like a bank. It's there to guard it and to make sure that that is your personality. So when you're introduced to new ideas, when you're introduced to a new way of thinking, a new way of living, it's going to take time to get in that groove. It's going to take time before the guard lets in that new information into your subconscious mind. You see, everything that you're doing is based on what's already in the vault, already in your subconscious mind. We are creatures of habit. We create based on what's in our subconscious mind. So if your history is full of rejection and hurt, if your history that's in the bank of your subconscious mind is full of disappointments, if it's full of low self-worth, if what's in the bank is a lot of disappointment and hurt, well, the minute you try to introduce something new, it's going to resist it. So it takes time. So I want to encourage you. So what I want to impress upon you is the importance of understanding how your mind works. This is why one of my grounding scriptures is in Romans, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So if you want to go from one way of thinking to another way of thinking, that's trans, that means movement. And if you want to change the form of your thinking, transform. If you want to change the form from one way and move to another way of thinking, you've got to change your mind. You've got to think new thoughts. If you're used to focusing on poverty and lack and struggle, if that's all you talk about, if that's all you're surrounded with, if that's the conversation of the people that are around you, if that's all you watch on the news, guess what? You are feeding into your subconscious mind that life is full of struggle and pain and poverty and lack. So if that's what's in the subconscious of your mind, if that's what's in the bank, guess what? When you start talking about prosperity and abundance, when you start talking about healing, recovery, when you start thinking about having a new relationship, when you start entertaining your dreams, your purpose, and your goals, your subconscious mind is going to resist. That's why you need constant repetition in order to transform your mind. It's not going to take just one book, one coaching session, one sermon. It's not. You have to constantly retrain your brain to begin to accept a new reality, to begin to accept that you can manifest, that you can live the desired life that God has destined for you. But again, if you're constantly allowing in your subconscious mind the idea that life is a struggle, that there is lack, that there are no good men, no good women, that there's no good jobs, there's no good customers, if you continue to put that in the bank of your subconscious mind, you're going to attract scenarios and people and experiences that are going to affirm what's already in your subconscious mind. But I'm one of those people that want to come and shake you up and get you out of your comfort zone so that you could begin to realize you can create something new, that you can be transformed by the renewing of your mind. But again, you must understand the power of repetition. I mean, that's why you already think the way you are, because of the repetition over the years. You have been programmed a certain way to have a certain outlook on life. Your in-look determines your outlook. I'm going to say that again. Your in-look determines your outlook, or your environment determines your environment. Let's put it that way. Your environment around you determines your environment. So look at the people that are populating your day. What type of conversations do you have? What type of books are you reading? What type of TV shows or movies are you watching? Because all of those things are shaping your in-look on life. If you walk around feeling you can't trust people, you don't like people, if you walk around in fear, you're afraid to go anywhere, you're afraid to love again, you're afraid to allow people into your life, you're afraid to go back to school, you're afraid to get on the highway, you're afraid to start your business, you're afraid to ask for help, you're afraid to speak up. That is all determined by your in-look, what's in your subconscious mind. And I believe there's something. You would not be watching this. You would not be reading my books. Those of you that are my clients and my coaching clients, you would not be coming to me unless there was something stirring inside of you that let you know that there's got to be more. How many of you believe there's got to be more? Yeah, it's calling you. There's more. There's more. I remember watching a movie, and maybe you remember this movie. It was about a young man who was blind all of his life. And he fell in love with a young lady, and they would go walking up and down the street where he lived, and they would walk hand in hand. And so in the middle of the movie, he said, well, this has been a great walk. Let's turn around. We're at the end of the city. He knew where the barber was. He knew where the drugstore was. He knew where the schools were. He knew everybody by their voices. He knew how many steps it took to get to the store. He was very, very familiar with his surroundings. And so when he got to the particular street, he said, well, this is the end. And she said, this is not the end. There's more. But because that was the limitation of his world, he believed that that's all that there was, until someone came into his life to say, there's more. I want you to say with me, there's more, because there is. And perhaps you're used to walking down the same streets and you're hearing the same familiar voices. And here I am saying, there is more. There's more. And it's going to be uncomfortable. There's going to be resistance in your subconscious mind to believe that you could have more, be more, do more. It's going to take repetition. So for those of you that have my books, Don't just read them once and leave them on the coffee table or in the backseat of your car collecting dust. Open those books up and read them again. For those of you that visit my website and read my articles and watch my videos, and they've already stirred something up inside of you, they've inspired you, go back and visit those again. There are probably some YouTube speakers and sermons and stories and music that has inspired you. Go back and let them inspire you again, because it's going to take the repetition before the subconscious mind, before the guard in your subconscious mind allows you to even entertain the fact that there's more. Your subconscious has a job, and its job is to make sure it guards what's already in your emotional bank. And if you believe that there's more, you're going to have to work on getting that guard to step aside and allow you to download hope, faith, inspiration, joy, health, love, money, prosperity. Yes, you're going to have to do it repeatedly. So don't give up. Don't think because you haven't seen the results yet that you're going to stop. Don't give up on releasing that body weight. Don't give up on a divine relationship. Don't give up on your children. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on God. Don't give up on your purpose. Don't give up on your dream. The only enemy you're dealing with is enemy. What's enemy? What's enemy? Is it doubt? Is it procrastination? Is it fear? Is it low self-esteem? What's enemy? Grudges, jealousy. What's enemy? Insecurity. Because that is what's stopping you from being transformed by the renewing of your mind. As we hear the slogan, the slogan that we hear, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. It's so true. Most of us don't even use the full capacity of our mind. We just go in a loop. We do the same thing over and over again. We think the same thing over and over again. Our conversation is the same thing over and over again. We go to the restaurant. We order the same thing over and over again. I look in my closet. I have so many clothes. I got so many shoes, but I wear the same ones over and over and over again. I wear the same shoes. I wear the same clothes. We're creatures of habit. But look at the word creature. It is based on the word create. What are you creating? You create through what's up here in the dome. You create through what you're hearing, what you're thinking, what you're seeing, what you're saying. Because when all of those things are lined up, it affects how you feel. And when you feel something, it motivates you. It inspires you to do something. So check your head, check your dome, your kingdom, your queendom. Check what you're thinking, because you're thinking, you're speaking, you're hearing are shaping your life, your reality, and it's all going into the subconscious mind. Sometimes I'll listen to music I don't normally listen to. Sometimes I'll pick up a magazine I'm not used to reading. I'll read a book I'm not used to reading. Sometimes I'll even watch a TV show or a movie that I'm not used to, that genre that I'm not used to. And if I pay attention, I find something new. I get a new lesson. But we are creatures of habit. You are a creature of habit. So if you want to believe that you could be, do, and have more, you got to grow out of your comfort zone. You got to work with that guard standing at the door of your subconscious mind, and you've got to convince that guard that you are going to put in some new information, some new inspiration, some new motivation, some new impartation, some new celebration of life. You're going to put that in there, and you're going to do it consistently. You're going to keep the main thing the main thing. You're going to change your language. So often we say, am I? Am I good enough? Am I beautiful? Am I smart? Am I loving? Am I worthy? Am I? And I want you to reverse it. Don't say, am I? I want you to say, I am. Reverse it. Not am I. I am. I am worthy. I am awesome. I am significant. I am intelligent. I am loyal. I am resilient. I am creative. I am loving. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am courageous. I am dynamic. Because whatever words come after those two words, once you reverse it, creates and goes before you and does not return to you void. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And don't trip on the landmines. The landmines are hidden. You don't see them. And that's what you and I do. We don't realize that we're stepping on landmines, hidden things that trigger us. It could be a person, a place, or thing. It could be a memory. It could be a phone call. It could be something so significant that's hidden and we don't even recognize that that's a trigger that's going to blow up in our face. And then we wonder why we're depressed and why we gave up and why we're nasty and why we give up and why we are defeated and why we are jealous and why we're insecure. You stepped on a landmine. You stepped on a landmine. And I stepped on one today and I called back my power and I said, no. Because I recognized, I saw that invisible wire and I almost stepped on it. It almost tripped me up. But I am determined that I will be transformed by the renewing of my mind. I will think differently. I will walk in my purpose. I will walk in my wealthy place. I will be healthy. I will have a purpose-driven life. I will. See, I will. Some of you have seen me do sign language, and sign language for the word will is this. That means moving forward. I will. Do that with me. I will. What is your will? What is your intention? Put your attention on your intention. Once you put your attention on your intention, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. When you get focused, it's a game changer when you keep the main thing the main thing. And listen, there are going to be distractions. There are going to be landmines. There's going to be the guard at your door, at your subconscious door telling you, no, don't even put that stuff in here. You're not wealthy. You're not healthy. You're not loving. And you have to repeatedly affirm, I am. You have to repeatedly watch videos like this. You got to repeatedly read the Word of God. You got to repeatedly read anything that's going to inspire you, mature you, develop you, and elevate your thinking. Got it? Got it? Huh? You got it? Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's the work you and I have to do, because there's more. This is Jewel Diamond Taylor. God bless you and thank you so much for watching today. Thank you so much for all of you that have been circulating my videos and just sharing it in social media. I appreciate you so much. God bless you and stay in the light.